Hello, gorgeous people. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are having a good ending of the week. Today, I wanted to talk about a topic that I'm really passionate about, and it is gentle parenting. I don't know if you guys do or don't know. I mentioned it, I think, in like my first video ever. I want to be a pediatric neuropsychologist. The development of children and understanding the relationship between children and parents is really important to me, and I find it incredibly interesting. So, I wanted to delve into the conversation that is happening around gentle parenting. Mostly what I think about how people are blurring the lines between gentle parenting and permissive parenting. I have my handy dandy little iPad here because we're recording on my phone. I'm going to use it to look at the videos and all the notes that I have for today because I have a plethora of things to say about this topic. And as you can tell, side note, my acne is having an absolute field day today, but we're going to ignore that. Let's move on. So, what is gentle parenting? Gentle parenting is described as a less aggressive approach to parenting, focusing on empathy, emotional development, communication skills, and understanding rather than control or harsh punishment. Now, why does gentle parenting sound good in theory, but not always in reality? I think gentle parenting is built off of something respectful. Parents want to break generational curses, they want to form a more respectful relationship with their children, and they want to show their child how to communicate their needs and feelings better. Now, that's all good and dandy, but the reason that gentle parenting is hard to execute is because a lot of parents mistake gentle parenting for permissive parenting. Permissive parenting offers very low discipline or structure to a child, instead, allowing the child to take the reins on the dynamic inside of the household. Additionally, we're going to see in some of the videos that I'm going to show you guys today, some kids just literally cannot be gentle parented. I'm not saying kids deserve corporal or harsh punishments in the slightest. I actually personally do not believe in physical punishments or harsh punishments for children, but children come in a plethora of different personalities. Some kids are naturally really calm and gentle, and some just have a lot of energy and tendency to push every single boundary set. I can attest to the fact that I was kind of a boundary pushing kid. I low key just liked to get on my mom's nerves. I thought that it would be a good way to get attention from her. So I would push the boundaries a lot as a kid. So there was definitely times where I did not deserve to be gentle parented because I could not listen for shit as a child. So this goes to say what works for one kid might not work for another kid. And gentle parenting can work at some points of time and might not work at other points of times. You have to be able to fluctuate and follow what your kid needs from you. So that's why gentle parenting sounds great in theory, but might not always work the way that we want it to in practice. Some examples of permissive parenting, and I'm going to show you guys a few videos that I think will really encapsulate the entire conversation really well, but I kind of wanted to give you guys some examples of what permissive parenting can look like. An example of what permissive parenting can look like is you telling your child no to something, but they don't listen to you and do it anyways. This can push the boundary and make your no just ineffective, leading to future instances where your child does this thing and you don't even bother saying no to them because you have already established that they will not listen to you. Like I said earlier, this allows the child in the relationship to take the reins and controls of the dynamic instead of the parent who is ultimately in charge of them. I wanted to show you guys a video that I think really explains this idea very well. It's a couple minutes long, so please bear with me.
This is not gentle parenting, this is permissive parenting. And it's the wrong thing to do. I know me for my silly little TikToks. I have 2 degrees in the field of education and worked as a behavioral interventionist for years. Let's be quick and clear about what she's doing wrong. I'm gonna talk like a caveman to simplify it. Toddler, pull hair. Toddler, hurt someone. Toddler, bad behavior. But why toddler pull hair? Toddler pull hair, have function. Toddler, pull hair, want attention. Toddler pull hair, want sensory stimulation. When toddler pull hair, toddler get hug. When toddler pull hair, toddler get attention and sensory stimulation. If mom give toddler hug, when toddler pull hair, toddler will keep pulling hair. Okay, does this make sense? If you reinforce your kid for doing something bad, they're gonna do something bad, so you give them what you want. Here's what we need to do to extinguish this behavior. When toddler pulls hair, mom need to take away attention and sensory stimulation. Mom, remove hands. Letting toddler pull hair is not gentle parenting. Mom, remove hands. Mom, turn toddler away from her. So mom no give attention. Mom, no talk lot. Mom say 2 word. Calm hands. Mom put hands of kid in lap. Mom no let kid have hands unless hands are calm. And unless hands No hurt people. Mom, no talk no more. Mom, wait until mom can let go and toddler hand still calm. And when kids hand calm, we're probably like 5 to 10 seconds at this developmental stage. Then mom hug. Mom no hug when toddler hurt, because mom can accidentally activate the reward pathway in the brain. Activates the brain's mesolimbic dopamine system, creates neurocircuits that link hurting to hugs and hurting to attention and sensory stimulation, which can cause big problems for a toddler down the road. Reinforcing negative behaviors is not gentle parenting. Permissive parenting, you're creating neural pathways in your kid's brain. Make his brain think that he will get rewarded if he hurts people. Actually can explain a lot of criminality these days. If your kid is doing something negative, these need to be taken away. You should never reward your kids for hurting somebody. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
I think that was a really great video. It was a little bit on the longer side and it went into a little bit more detail than what I'm talking about right now. But I think she provided a really great foundation for this conversation. Those four needs that she mentioned, one of them being attention and the other being stimulation, really set the baseline for what these kids are after when they are pushing their children's boundaries. Did I say children? When they're pushing their parents' boundaries. I'm sorry. Kids by nature want to get on people's nerves. I don't know what it is with children. They just love getting on people's nerves. They love pushing boundaries because they are looking for stimulation. They are learning the world around them. They don't understand how the world around them works. That is when the parent comes in and teaches them how the world works. But until that happens, they are seeking different sensory stimulations. They are wondering, they're getting the little gears working in their head. They're like, what happens if I do this? What is the outcome that will happen if I push this boundary of my mom's? They're little, they don't understand big functions and ideas the way that we do. And I really, really like how she explained it like a caveman. I thought that was funny and it makes sense because that's also how little kid brains work. They think, okay, if I do this, mom do what? And most of the time, they are looking for attention. Kids don't act out for no reason. They are usually looking for stimulation or attention or reaction out of you. And I think what she said is incredibly important in the sense of if you allow your child to hit you and let them learn that if they hit you, they will get a reward or a hug out of it, then you are teaching their little brain that hitting is okay and hitting gets you rewarded with a hug. And that's where the line gets blurred between gentle parenting and permissive parenting. Gentle parenting without corporal or harsh or punishment or yelling or whatever can teach the child that it is not okay to lay your hands on people that way. But permissive parenting blurs that line by having the no corporal punishment, but you're also not teaching your child anything. So you have one thing down, which is great. You're not screaming, yelling at your kid for no reason or, you know, punishing them in a hurtful way, but you're not teaching them anything. Permissive parenting teaches that that child is not going to get yelled at or have any consequences, and they're also allowed to do those things over and over again in the future and get what they want out of it. And this is not to say at all that kids seeking attention is a bad thing because I feel like that has such a negative connotation, especially when I was a child. I would act out sometimes because I purely wanted the adults and in the household, the people that I loved, to pay attention to me. And it was never in a snarky, rude way. Children are not evil by nature. I hate this idea that children think in evil ways or in ways to upset you. They don't want to make you upset. They want attention from you. And they have learned in their brain because you have rewarded that process that the only way to get what they want out of you is to scream and kick and annoy you and push your boundaries. I would do that a lot as a kid, and people would be like, oh, she just wants attention. And it was never in a way that I wanted to be a nasty kid. I just didn't know how else to express that, hey, mom, I want to talk to you right now, or I want to play with you right now, because I was taught that if I, was annoying and pushed boundaries and, threw a tantrum, that I was going to get the attention I wanted from my parents.
Mom. Yeah. Look at. What, baby? Stop doing that, please. Stop doing that, baby. Hazel, can you please stop doing that? Hazel, stop doing that. Stop doing that, I said. I said stop doing that. Mom, what's this me?
to listen, and you weren't listening to me. Why is this with me? You're gonna do it again, really? You guys. Why is it again?
That video makes me frustrated. I'm not of age to have children. I would love to be a mother one day. I just don't think I have the maturity to even think about a child for like the next 10 years of my life. I am 18, so obviously still very young, very in the future. But that really, really frustrates me because you can hear the mom getting visibly frustrated. You can hear her start to yell at her child and even scare her child. The child even says, "Mom, why did you scare me?" But she is still testing her mother's boundaries and still hitting what looks like a little children's like spork against the table, knowing that her mother doesn't like it. Her mother even said, "You need to listen," after the daughter said, "Why did you scare me by yelling at me?" The kid doesn't listen though. She keeps hitting the spork against the table because she has learned that nothing is going to happen. This video, in my opinion, lasts for entirely too long. I would have taken that spork away from this child within the second time of me saying, "Please stop doing that." You get one warning, and then the second time, I've already told you, we are looking into redirecting this behavior. I would have taken the spork away from her, removed her from the table for a few minutes, I don't know, something else than just watching her and recording her and letting her do whatever it is that she's doing. Inherently, these things are not like hurtful. I'm not throwing judgment or hate at anybody that I mentioned in this video. I'm merely commenting on the actions happening in this video. And I am commenting on the fact that the mom loses her cool completely. That child does not care and is still doing that behavior because she knows that nothing is going to happen. Her mom is just going to yell her voice, but like, okay. Like some kids don't give a shit if you yell your voice. Like I like never cared if my parents raised their voice. I just didn't care. I was like, that didn't threaten me. Because parents, I feel like, lose their cool so much sometimes that yelling just loses its effect. It loses its credibility and its ability to like actually scare you into doing the right thing. And I can clearly see that in this child. Again, I'm not a psychologist. I don't have children myself, but I can see that the kid was yelled at and was like, "You need to stop doing that." And she kept doing it because she's like, okay. And it makes me think that like something like that has probably happened before where the parent is just like, oh, yelling and getting to that level of like, oh, you need to stop doing that. And then nothing actually happened. That's why I think people get confused with gentle parenting and permissive parenting. This is permissive parenting. Gentle parenting, I don't think I would have yelled. I mean, people yell. I don't like, I'm not going to say parents who yell are bad people. Like, I have definitely gotten to a point with like a kid I'm babysitting or one of my younger cousins where I'm like, stop doing that because again, they just love testing your patience. But you're mistaking that for gentle parenting. It's not. Gentle parenting is not just simply telling your child, please stop doing that, please stop doing that. You also have to enforce that boundary and that rule and show that child that you are the person in charge in this dynamic, not them. A 3-year-old is not in charge of you. Like, I hate this idea that like 3-year-olds are like controlling the parents. They're not. You are letting them run all over you by being permissive towards their behavior. So, although I think it's great that for the most part this mom did keep her cool, she did allow herself to get angry and not enforce the boundary in a way that is actually helpful to the child to understand that, hey, maybe I shouldn't do that again because it upsets mom and it doesn't give me the stimulation that I want out of her. This next one I've seen circulate on the internet a lot and it definitely grinds my gears. I think you guys are going to have like a field day with this one as well.
Are you ready to be nice?
No!
Okay, we're gonna sit out here until you're ready to be nice. Hands are not for hitting. When you're ready to use your inside voice, you can talk to me. Laura Lane. Hey.
What?
Can you use your inside voice?
No!
We don't need to yell. Hey, no, hands are not for hitting. We don't throw stuff. Let's be nice.
I want to go inside.
Well, we can go inside when you're ready to be nice. Hands are not for hitting. I don't like that. That hurts. You need to keep your hands to yourself and be nice.
Okay, I'm gonna cut that early because, like, I just can't. I can't. Like, first of all, I want to start by saying, bless this mom's heart. Like, I truly, truly honor and respect the patience that she has with this child because I would not have that same patience. Like, that video pissed me off just looking at it. I would have lost it the moment that that child threw a chair at me. This is not gentle parenting. I truly, truly respect this woman for maintaining the patience and the calmness that she did. Like, literal godsend type of patience with this child, but this is not gentle parenting. This is through and through permissive parenting. You allowed this child to throw a chair at you. Like, you allowing this child to bite you and hit you and slap you and like run up to you and just like hit you in the back of the head. Absolutely not. You wouldn't catch me dead with a child thinking that he can throw a chair at me. Again, I do not support corporal punishment. I do not support hitting your child back or hitting a child as a sort of punishment. I think things can happen and lessons can be learned without having to hit or scare your child. But this is permissive parenting. You're letting this child think that it is okay to throw things at you, to hit you, to scream at you, because she knows that probably one way or another, she's going to break down your boundaries and you're just going to let her do whatever she wants. I very rarely see children just scream and yell like this off the bat. It usually gets to a point where, like, they know one way or another your boundaries are going to be broken down. So they just keep raising and raising and raising the amount that they do these screaming and hooting and hollering tantrums because they know eventually that they are going to break down your boundary. They know that no matter what, they're going to get to a point where you're just sick and tired of hearing them scream and cry and you're just going to let them do whatever they want. And I did want to take a moment to say, although I do not have children, that does not take away my ability to recognize negative behaviors in children and have opinions and comments on them. Again, I'm not trying to hate on any of the parents or the children presented in these videos. At the end of the day, those are just children. They are blameless in the situation. They're just doing what they are taught to do and taught how to act. But at the end of the day, the parents have to take reign in this situation. I was raised with a mother who was a teacher her entire life. I accompanied her to the schools that she would work at multiple times. She predominantly worked in VPK and kindergarten situations, and I saw a plethora of this behavior. And most of the times, as my mother explained, as her co-work teachers explained, this behavior was due to the fact that they know that they can break down their parents' boundaries. So they think that they can do it with other people. They think that they can do it with school friends. They think that they can do it with teachers or principals or other people in charge of them that are not their parents because they have learned at home that they can scream and cry and throw chairs at people this way. So then they're going to go to school and some kid is not giving them a toy that they want. So they're going to scream and cry and throw a chair at them. This behavior shows itself in other places of life. This behavior is never usually just contained to home. They know that they can push their parents' boundaries, and their home is where they learn these initial steps of life. So they take that and they do it at school, they do it on the playground, they do it other places in the store, any other place, because they know that it will work. But honestly, at the end of the day, genuine power to this mom. Like, this is patience that I could never have. So I think she really, really does have that first step down of being really patient and communicative with your child. I did hear her say, like, hands are not for hitting, please don't hit me, I don't like that. And I think that's all really, really great communicative skills that she is teaching her child, but I think the consequence is missing. I don't think her child is actually understanding that these things are hurting her mom or that she's doing something wrong. I wanted to show you guys this other one that's a little bit more jokey and lightens the mood, but I still think hits the nail on the coffin about this topic.
You don't say people numbers. It's hot on the bottom. Don't drop it. Not all the time. It's hot on the bottom. It's hot on the bottom.
I think this one is funny. It's lighthearted. I don't think it's intended to be serious, but the point still stands that parents reach an exhaustion point. They want to be gentle parents. They want to gently parent their child, but like I said in the beginning of the video, some children cannot be gentle freaking parented. Like, you can tell them over and over and over again, this plate is hot, please hold it at the top. This plate is hot, please hold it at the top. And they will still hold it at the bottom and be like, like, why is this plate hot? Some kids are genuinely not as patient and as communicative as other kids in being able to hear and interpret instructions. And that's why I think it's really important to adapt to your child's needs and adapt your parenting abilities to your child's needs, because children are not the same. They're not one fit all style. Some kids are a lot more patient, some kids are not. Some kids are a lot more attentive and listen a lot more clearly. Some kids do not. So you need to be able to mold and shape your parenting style to what your child needs of you. And I thought this video was kind of funny. I thought it was a lighthearted way to end this part of the discussion because sometimes kids just don't listen, but it does stand that like you are trying to gentle parent and you're losing your cool because your kid just doesn't want to understand anything that you're saying to them. And it is incredibly frustrating. I do actually really empathize with parents going through those things because I know I would absolutely lose my patience. Like, I cannot reiterate enough, the woman from the last video, whew, that is some patience that I don't think I could ever have. I did want to quickly mention another side of the conversation that I don't think is talked about often, and that is the older siblings in these homes. And I feel like it's a cultural phenomenon around the world that is pretty common that the older sibling is often dealt the harsher hand from their parents. Me and my sister actually joke about it a lot. My sister is 7 years older than me, and she jokes about it all the time that my parents were a lot stricter with her than they were with me. They were a lot more permissive with me and what I was allowed to do, especially as I grew into my teenage years. But I think an idea that people don't recognize is how the older kids in these homes might feel about this type of gentle slash permissive parenting. This video is a compilation video, so I'm not going to show the whole thing because it's like 2 minutes long, but I'll cut it when I feel like enough is shown.
You know what you did, Shay?
Bring it back! Bring it back in, guys! Brian, get the fuck off the log right now! Or my hand is going across your ass cheek!
You're sick.
No, I'm not!
You're sick.
No! No!
Come on.
No!
Get the fuck out of the freezer!
Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth.
I think I'm going to end it there. I don't know if I'm going to copyright it. This is me talking to my editing self right here. There is like music in the background, but I think it is important to hear the commentary going on. Speaking of this video, I think it's obviously lighthearted in nature like the other one was, but I do think it's an important point. The older kids in these situations are often left feeling like they have to parent their younger sibling because their parents have mentally tapped out, or they are trying to gentle parent but are instead permissively parenting their children and just allowing them to do whatever they want. This leads to the older sibling having to step in and basically play the role of parent, which no older sibling should have to play. Older siblings should not be responsible for taking care of their younger siblings. And I do understand it's lighthearted and funny in nature, but it is also heartbreaking for the older kids in these situations because no older kid wants to be subject to taking care of their younger sibling. And I kind of can attest to this as well from me and my sister. I love my sister dearly. We have a great relationship, but she did tell me that a lot of times when she was a teenager, she felt like she had to take care of me and miss out on things in her own life because my parents weren't able to take care of me 24/7. So she had to miss volleyball practice or hangouts with her friend to babysit me. And that's no fun. And I know that's a little bit differently than obviously your kid disobeying your parents and your older child has to come in and discipline them, but it kind of translate in the same way and can translate to other aspects of life. Last but not least, I wanted to show an example of actual gentle parenting.
No, you're not getting out. You ran off where I couldn't see you. So now you are in the carrier for 3 minutes.
I want to get out!
Yeah, you are not allowed to run off where I can't see you or hear you.
Dying.
It's gonna be fine. You're gonna live.
I'm dying.
I'm sorry it's tight, but it has to be to keep you safe. This is your consequence.
I never want you to go.
I know you don't want me to, but sometimes I have to do things you don't want me to do. Because my job is to keep you safe, right? What's my job?
To keep people safe.
You cannot go off where I can't see you or hear you. You've never done that before. And I don't know why you chose to do that today.
Mommy, where did
It's in my other pocket. I love you. Why is it a bad idea to run away? Then you will not be safe. If you'd like to go with Zoe, you need to promise me you will stay where I can see you and hear you.
Okay.
So say, I promise. I will stay.
Where you couldn't see him.
Okay. Now what happens, do you think, if you do it again?
What?
We're going home. You're not even going to get... Poppy, what happened? You're not even going to get a chance to go in the carrier again. You're going to just go straight to our house, into the car, because that's not allowed. Do you understand? Are you ready to get out?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready to behave and stay where you're supposed to go?
Huh?
Okay. And what happens if you run off again?
What?
Tell me. What did I say will happen?
I don't know.
Will you go in the carrier or go home this time?
Go home.
Go home. Go play.
Me?
Zoe didn't play with you, so that's why you ran off?
I did play with you. I was trying to play with you.
Did
I
you
was
think
like-
she didn't want to play with you?
Mm-mm.
She did want to.
But she tried to, but then she didn't.
Okay, I also cut that video just a little bit slightly short, not missing any big details. It was just a longer video and I didn't want just like minutes and minutes of this video to be that video. But I think this parent does a phenomenal job. I think she maintains her calmness. She doesn't yell or call her child mean names. She strictly tells the child what the boundary is and how the child crossed it multiple times. Kids don't understand things like we do, and I already covered that a little bit earlier. They need to be told over and over again and very simply what they did wrong and why it was wrong and what their consequence now is. I actually really, really love that she said in her video, this is the consequence for what you did, and this is why it's the consequence for what you did. I love that she remained affectionate with her child. I love that she remained respectful for her child and acknowledged her child's feelings that, yeah, this does suck, but this is what happens when you don't listen to mom. I really love it. I think it was amazing. And I think it really goes to show what permissive parenting is and what gentle parenting actually is and how it actually works and how different it looks from permissive parenting. I really do feel like permissive parents give gentle parents such a bad rep because people think the two are one and the same. They are not. Permissive parenting is so much different from what gentle parenting actually values and how gentle parenting actually works. And I think this mom really showed a great example of how gentle parenting is supposed to look in a family. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked my little corner of the internet and what I had to say today. If you have any thoughts to add to the conversation, please don't be shy to add it down in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.